Hello everyone, welcome back to Breaking News Nigeria. So guys, a lot of things is happening. My people, like I don't talk am before. Ndi Igbo, it's time to stand up. The movement don't they rise again. Now, breaking news that is reaching us right now. We are finally having a date for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, like a protest, according to activist Omoyole Sowore. He just confirmed that a historic protest march will take place right at the gates of Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, on October 20th, 7 a.m. sharp. He described it as a peaceful but powerful demand for justice and called on all Nigerians, human rights defenders, and lovers of freedom to come out in their numbers. My people, this protest is not just about Nnamdi Kanu alone. It's about fairness, justice, and the future of Nigeria itself. But before we go in deep into people's reaction and what this protest could mean for the Southeast and the entire country, let's first of all listen to Showore himself. What he said concerning this major protest, and what I would love you guys to listen to him first.
The Labour
Then we
Party
can actually
chieftain
go
Peter
into
Obi,
more
Anambra
reasons,
State Governor
reactions from
Charles
many
Soludo, and other
Nigerians
notable
concerning
personalities in the
this
southeast
particular
to
protest.
march to Aso Rock for the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Showore made the call in a post on his official X account on Tuesday, saying that he will set aside his differences with some politicians for one cause: Kanu's release. He posted, quote, "I challenge every politician or person of good conscience from the Southeast who says they want Nnamdi Kanu released to stop the rhetoric. Time for action is now. Let's march to Aso Rock Villa," he said. Well, every governor, senator, member of the House, traditional ruler, priest, Eze, Igbo person, and every Nigerian who believes in Kanu's freedom, come out and do more than talk. I will lead this peaceful march to the Aso Rock Villa. No more empty noise. Let Charles Soludo, Senator Abaribe, Governor Alex Oti, Peter Obi, and all others who claim to care step up and join us in person. End quote. Well, meanwhile, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has said that the adjournment of the terrorism trial of its detained leader, Nnamdi Kanu, by a federal high court in Abuja over the non-submission of his medical report by the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, is judicial mockery. In a press statement issued on Wednesday by its spokesperson, Comrade Ima Powerful, IPOB expressed outrage at the latest judicial fiasco that unfolded during the proceedings, accusing both the NMA and the Nigerian government of unethical conduct and contempt for the rule of law. Well, we have with us in the studio Daily Fanimo, who is a seasoned reporter. He will be, joining the conversation as well. We have Tokwe Abdurazak Balogun, Lagos State governorship candidate for AA, that's Action Alliance. Well, AA has a case in court with INEC. We'll talk about that also. But in the meantime, we're being joined virtually by the man himself, Omoyele Sowore. He joins us virtually. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Well, we can hear you. Not loud, slightly clear, but we can hear you. Yes, and we can see you.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you
well enough. But I can hear you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Now, this call that you have made before now, you've said a lot about Southeast political elite not caring about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But we saw the other day, yesterday, Honorable Obi Agwacha, who raised the issue at the House of Representatives, and what the shouting speed that followed. Now, why do you think that it's been difficult for leaders in the Southeast to speak together in one voice for the release of Nnamdi Kanu?
I can speak to what I know. I cannot speak completely about the culture, but I know that the earliest, since Nnamdi Kanu was brought back to Nigeria, I've been somewhat involved with His lawyers, his legal team, have attended several of his trials. And as a result, I have an understanding of the fact that there is a difference between what some of the Southeast political leaders are saying in public and what they do in private. On your channel, I granted an interview where I mentioned that I was involved when this regime of Tinubu came to power. Certain conversations relating to the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and they immediately shut it down, saying that if he came out, he would affect their chances of winning in Imo State. Elections were coming up at that time. So if you just oppose that against what then has become today, come tomorrow, the resumption of the trial, the delays, you understand what I'm saying. It is based on my knowledge of what I know to be, in some cases, clear sabotage of his release. But you can understand that a lot of the Southeast political leaders will find it difficult to align with someone who says, let's leave Nigeria, when, as a matter of fact...
Really. It's interesting that you're making this call now, because some people have said, oh, he's not a Southeasterner and he's doing this, it speaks to one Nigeria. But what would happen if some of these individuals that you've called upon do not, join you? Would you still go on with the protest march in the spirit of one Nigeria?
The protest will go on with that. They join or not. We just published the date of the protest. So there's going to be October 20th at 7 a.m. Everybody will make announcements as to where people will converge in different parts of Abuja or anywhere they might find themselves, including people who might want to protest at Nigerian embassies abroad. There is a broad decision, a broad declaration to achieve an aim. It has no political connotation. The reason why I named some Southeast leaders are because they have said publicly in press statements, in press releases, in their tweets that they want Nnamdi Kanu released. And I just want them to put their their money where their mouth is, to give some kind of veneer of credibility to their cause. So that is the reason why you see I mentioned specifically some people, particularly the governor of Abia State, who is the governor of Nnamdi Kanu, who has been speaking relentlessly that Nnamdi Kanu will come out very soon. Negotiations are on. Governor Soludo of Anambra State, I've heard him speak publicly that he's working to get Nnamdi out. Peter Obi has issued a statement as recently as last year, or maybe this year, asking them to release Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
And so I just want everybody who says this is what we want to come out and join us on that day.
All right, comrade, let me stay with you. I understand what you are trying to do, solidarity as an activist for a friend, for a Nigerian, a fellow citizen like you. But I want us to examine a bit, how this case has progressed. At a point, people were looking for, a political solution to all of this. And certain group of people like IPOB insisted, no, let's go to court. Because at that point, they were very sure that, look, that this terrorism trial was not going to go anywhere. So at this point, the court process is in progress. He's undergoing trial. Don't you think that this protest will be some kind of confrontational before the establishment when they said, look, let's look for a political solution, and people said, let's go to court? Don't you think that this protest will likely or might just complicate Nnamdi Kanu's case in terms of seeking for, another track to get him out of detention?
No, I don't understand where you got the impression from that Kanu said, let's go to court. No, it is the Nigerian government that dragged Kanu to court. In fact, his current trial came as a result of an abduction from Kenya. He was kidnapped from Kenya, flown to Nigeria under some of the most secretive circumstance. Nobody can still tell you how he got to Nigeria today. They put a hood over his head and brought him to court. That I don't understand to mean that let's go to court. If that's let's go to court, I don't think that's what I understand to mean by let's go to court. Maybe you are referring to his first time around when he was arrested and tried, granted bail, and they went to his house, killed people, and he escaped from Nigeria. And they went outside of Nigeria to bring him back. I don't know how that would mean let's go to court. With regards to his chances of getting fair trial, you can't get a fair trial when the process of arraignment, all the legal processes are not fair. In fact, the trial was going to be impossible under normal circumstances if somebody is extraordinarily rendition from another country that is kidnapped. There's no basis for trial. Before you can bring somebody before trial, there's a process for getting them to come. And it includes that the country from where, in case you go outside the...
So guys, you guys have listened to what Showore said. I'm also going to play you guys more videos of what he said about this protest that is coming up. About this protest that is going to be coming up on 20th October 2025. So guys,
if you go outside the country, there was a record that the person was arrested and extradited to Nigeria.
The Labour Party chieftain, Peter Obi, Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo, and other notable personalities in the southeast to march to Aso Rock for the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Showore made the call in a post on his official X account on Tuesday, saying that he will set aside his differences with some politicians for one cause, Kanu's release. He posted, quote, "I challenge every politician or person of good conscience from the southeast who says they want Nnamdi Kanu released to stop the rhetoric. Time for action is now. Let's march to Aso Rock Villa," he said. Well, every governor, senator, member of the House, traditional ruler, priest, Eze, Igbo person, and every Nigerian who believes in Kanu's freedom, come out and do more than talk. I will lead this peaceful march to the Aso Rock Villa. No more empty noise. Let Charles Soludo, Senator Abaribe, Governor Alex Oti, Peter Obi, and all others who claim to care step up and join us in person. End quote. Well, meanwhile, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has said that the adjournment of the terrorism trial of its detained leader...
In case you go outside the country, there was a record that the person was arrested and extradited to Nigeria. This one is called extraordinary rendition. So I don't understand where this impression came from that he submitted to trial and hope that he will win. How can somebody go to Nigeria court and hope that he will win when everything is arrayed against you?
Okay, I think I'm very certain that at a point IPOB said, let's go and trash out all of these in court. Now, my question is this: what you are trying to do, in all honesty, you want to see a Nigerian like you get freedom, especially when a court has also said that you have no locus standi to try him and all of that. Then my position is this: my question is, if you understand how politics plays out in Nigeria, don't you think that the march to Aso Rock will be some kind of confrontation, like I asked before, against the establishment? And how do you think that they will react to all of this?
We have made it very clear that this is a peaceful march. Okay. Do they see it as confrontation? Of course, that's always how they react to every effort by Nigerians or citizens of Nigeria to solve their problem using legitimate, legal, and non-violent methods. As a matter of fact, in Nigeria's history, it is people who use violence that get the most result. But this is not what we're interested in. We're not going to change strategy because they can't think. So nothing, in my view, is going to stop us. Nothing, in my view, is tantamount to confrontation. We have made it public that is what we're going to do. We're inviting people from across the country, possibly across the world, to engage in this march. And I'm sure they understand.
That, and it was established that, some persons in Nigeria also of the opinion that a protest, though is legalized, but they are trying to make sure that it will not be infiltrated by some elements whom we don't really know. We saw that happen during the 1st August to August 10, hashtag End Bad Governance protest. People were being arrested and all that. Do you think that move or protest that happened, we have the Abuja 11 incarceration and all that. Do you think Nigerians are going to come out at this point in time to support you and other persons whom you've called upon to say, let's march for this man's release? Remember that the federal government also taken to court for treason, plans to upturn the government.
You don't have to worry about what their reaction will be. I think our focus should be what we plan to do on that day. Interestingly, this part of Abuja where this protest will take place is one of the most secured part of the country. I don't think anywhere is more secure than the Aso Rock Villa. So the security of the city, of the protesters, is the duty of those in government. So I don't believe in this narrative that the protest should be hijacked, but of course, I might use that as an excuse, which I always do.
What absolutely?
And they know those of us who are protesting. I recently protested at the police headquarters, in Abuja, leading retired policemen and some kind of, serving policemen, and nothing happened. So, if they want to frame the narrative as something that will be hijacked, we'll just tell them, just do your job, which is to ensure that the area is secure. There's a protest. They understand the meaning of protest, and we also understand the meaning of protest. And we've made it very clear. We have announced the dates. They have enough information as what needs to be done. We have also invited state governors, members of the National Assembly, who themselves have personal security from the state anyway. So I don't think the narrative should be distracted by security at this point. I think we should focus on the main issues.
Reach out to the police. I'm talking about them giving you personnel for such move to happen.
We know
that is also one of the requirements for protest.
Unlike before, the police used to be that you have to apply to the police to protest, but the law is very clear that the police only need to be aware of the protest to take proactive action. So I'm sure, just as we are speaking, police has already notified itself or has been notified publicly that there will be protesting that day. I can guarantee you, I know the police very well, I know the DSS. I'm sure all of them are already aware. I'm sure they're planning, and that's good news.
Now, would this be seen as preempting the court, since this particular case is already in court, like my colleague rightly asked earlier? Now, you're going on to say want to protest his release, want Nnamdi Kanu to be released and all that. Isn't that a way, or maybe be perceived as preempting the court? And, we know what's legal or implication of that particular move.
I think this is going to help decongest the court of Nigeria. This is one of the cases that the courts needed not have on their calendar or on their court list. As you can imagine, each time Nnamdi Kanu is taken to court, the DSS have to seal up everywhere. They have to do everything they can to ensure that there's no movement of persons. We hear that they used to spend over 500 million naira per day just to take Kanu to court and back to his place of illegal and unwarranted detention. So this is going to help decongest our courts. The courts need to focus on more serious cases and not cases that have no business being in court in the first place.
Interesting, you talked about decongesting our courts, and some people are also concerned about decongesting our prisons. And
yes,
talking about, my colleague mentioned the Abuja 11. Their issue came up very recently. This is from the hashtag End Bad Governance protest of 2024, and they are still being tried in court at this time. 1 year over 1 year that they have been arrested for wanting to topple the government. That was the allegation leveled against them. I know you have your ears to the ground, and you know that some Nigerians are beginning to feel really livid about protests, because they've seen that some can be arraigned, children can be arraigned, some can be kept in detention for years with nobody to speak for them. And if you go to the street, some Nigerians have said, look, Nigerians don't have staying power to, force government by way of protest to get what they want. What do you say to that?
Well, I'll speak directly to the 11 persons who are still undergoing trial for NBAD governance. Their trial actually coming up again today. And we made a strong representation to the Attorney General's office to discontinue the trial. And we hope that they will discontinue today. What has kept the trial on the calendar of the court is some road police officers and the legal department of the Nigerian Police Force. I think somehow they also benefit from all these very useless cases. I think you get some kind of allowance, but we reported this again a few days ago, and they are supposed to be in court as we speak. My understanding is that the case will be discontinued today. But let me address the staying power of Nigerians, because I'm glad you mentioned NBAD governance protests today, and that was I think over a year ago. But you mentioned staying power, and you forgot that NBAD governance protest lasted for 10 days across the country, one of the biggest in the history of this country. So I think the problem is not staying power. I think the problem is the unity of purpose. That maybe if more Nigerians can just decide once and for all that they want to solve these problems, we don't allow people to create division, and introduce their diversionary tactics and narratives to divide us, because our unity is what is missing from our resistance, and that is what NBAD governance was about, and that was why it was effective and it really hurt the ruling class, because for the first time they saw North, South, everybody united, and it used to be like, oh, during NSAS, almost the entire North didn't participate, so, but that was also a very powerful protest has staying power. And NSAS will be how many years this year? Maybe like 5 years. Anniversary is coming up. Okay. Which coincidentally is going to be the day of this protest, by the way, before people start saying, oh, why did you choose NSAS as the date of protest for Nnamdi Kanu? You will get the narrative very soon that, oh, maybe this was planned. No, there is no day in the calendar of human beings that you cannot fight for justice. Okay, so if NSAS is the day we do this for Nnamdi Kanu, and we do NSAS memorial or remembrance, it's all good. Well, it's all about justice.
Some form of more like a coincidence.
It was a coincidence because we were all looking for a Monday. Because we, as people who do this all the time, we like Mondays because that's the day everybody is fresh, energetic,
in the week.
And it's the most important official day of the week. So we're looking for a Monday, and it turns out to be NSAS, and we said maybe there's something to it, so we chose that date.
Very, very fortunate for the Alota community. Now, come on.
Yes, this is not an Aluta community fight. This everybody is so good conscience. Yes, it's everybody's fight.
I want us to talk about the people that you have reached out to, especially when you talk about the political leaders in the Southeast, the elites and all of that. I'm sure that you have, you called on Chukwuma Soludo, to be part of the march, Do you recall at some point that Chukwuma Soludo said, the release of Nnamdi Kanu is not alone on this. A couple of Igbo people, especially the intelligentsia, people in government, as a matter of fact, have this opinion that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will not necessarily guarantee peace in the Southeast. Did you factor in that?
So, guys, I'm sure you guys have listened to what Omoyele Sowore said. He said that 20th October is going to be a massive protest, and people have been reacting to this. Like, people have been saying that, many people have been saying, both online and many people have been saying that this protest might be the biggest since NSAS, because you guys know that the protest they did during NSAS, it was a whole lot. So people are saying that this might also be another biggest protest that is coming up. And others believe this time people are not afraid, they are ready to speak truth to power. Some are warning that the government may try to frustrate the movement before October 20. Some people are saying that the government may even try to, frustrate the movement. Why some people are saying that civil rights groups are already mobilizing from Enugu, Port Harcourt, and Lagos. And there have been so many hashtags online like Free Nnamdi Kanu and Justice for Kanu are trending on, Twitter. And supporters say it is not just about Kanu, it's about ending oppression in Nigeria. And critics are saying that Showore is trying to use Kanu's name to gain relevance, but others are also disagreeing with him. There are a lot of reactions, online concerning in this protest. And now, this protest is going to put Tinubu's government under fresh international pressure. It could even expose how divided the country has become over justice and equality. Some APC insiders are reportedly nervous about how the world will view Nigeria that day. Opposition figures from Labour Party and PDP are expected to softly support the move, just like Showore said that he asked all Southeast governors, he tagged Soludo, tagged the P2B, that all of them should come out, to march to Aso Rock to protest. Now, it may also force the National Assembly to finally discuss Nnamdi Kanu's detention publicly. Since they have refused to discuss it, it will now force the National Assembly to start discussing about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his detention. Now, analysts say this could redefine the 2027 election debate from power to justice. If the protest is massive, it will be a political embarrassment for the ruling class. It could also strengthen the Southeast bargaining power in national politics. Some northern leaders may call for calm, seeing the protest as a national test. Like these are like things that may happen if this protest is actually massive. You see that there will be so much pressure on Tinubu's government. If they do this protest, there's going to be so much pressure because he'll be so pressurized that he will have no other option than to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Anyway, guys, that's what we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below. And also, if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button, like and share the video, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. What you guys really think is going to be happening on 20th October 2025? Like, what do you think is the outcome of this protest? What will likely happen? Will Mazi Nnamdi Kanu really be released on 20th October? So guys, please drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And thank you for so much for watching. See you guys again in my next live section.